I'm Tiffany A. Hilliard of Dolton, Illinois.
This video will look at how to pronounce Chicago and Illinois.
Illinois.
Mr. and Mrs. Paul up in here. Everybody say, what's up, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Shout out to you both. OMG, y'all. I feel like we got celebrities in the building, okay? So everybody, let's act like we got a little bit of sense, but not all the way, okay? Because we want to make sure that we don't drive them away. But shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Paul up in here. How are you?
We're doing good.
We're doing well.
Oh, good. Are you tired? Like, are you like tired from last night because you was out late or it was too much and you didn't get enough sleep or anything like that?
I am mentally tired.
Oh, that's a good answer. I want y'all to tell us everything and anything. Everything and anything. Anything. Or you want me to just ask you questions?
I'd say the highlight or the unexpected highlight was there were seats for us. We got there early enough. The line was orderly compared to the last 2 months.
I agree.
And we had our choice of seats, and we sat down. And much to my amazement, Jennifer was sitting right next to Lori Lightfoot.
Mrs. Paul, because I'm gonna just keep calling you that. Mrs. Paul got to sit right next to Lori Lightfoot, y'all. How about that? Did you get her autograph? I know you got a picture. I don't have the picture ready, but did you get her autograph?
I didn't get her autograph as she is somewhat shy.
Really?
Yeah, I did ask for permission to take her picture. She allowed me to do so, but that was the end of that.
That's good. That was all good. I think I must have used it in a video, but yeah, definitely. I'll let everybody know which picture it was later. But did you talk to her at all?
No,
she was silent. The only time that she ever moved was when Keith Freeman was reading a bunch of numbers, and she'd write them all down in her little notebook.
Ooh.
And then at the very end of the meeting, I said a few words to her. You know that the administration muted her microphone. Even
yes.
The trustees gave her.
You know who did it? That dude on the end with the bald head that Jedediah was about to fight on Township Day.
William, don't Absolutely. Pray for me more.
Yes.
What is his name?
William Moore.
William Moore.
For me, no more.
Oh, yes. That's the dude that Jason said that to, right?
Exactly.
Did he pray yesterday? Is that who was praying?
Yeah.
Child.
It wasn't as bad as last month.
Child, that's crazy. Okay, no, I saw him turn around and cut it. So that's the man of God. Y'all pay attention, okay? So Lori Lightfoot you all saw it because we were all watching everything. Lori Lightfoot is in the middle of saying, because Jason House had said he wanted to go off the agenda. I forget what his exact words were. And that was like, he wanted to do something that is not like the norm, I guess, is what that meant. And then Brittany quickly seconded him. And then all of a sudden, Tiff didn't like that. And then Lori got up there and started talking. And you can hear her, meaning Tiffany, in the background talking about, that's not right. Something along these lines. I'm paraphrasing. That's not right. That's disrespectful. And I'm like, the damn audacity. You've been disrespectful this whole damn y'all. If you only knew, if you haven't seen my video, the live stream, don't waste your time. It's 4 hours. But I was hot up in here. They will tell you I was hot, and I'm not even a resident. I'm not even down there. What was like everyone around you? Because I know y'all live in Lansing, right? So yes. What was the mood around you?
Angry.
Ooh.
They were angry. They were fed up. Of course, I think everybody in that room, with the exception of Tiffany's cronies, dislike her. It came with the intention of showing her how much they care for her, which was nothing. As one of our friends, Dama Price, wore a shirt, I'm sure you guys saw that, telling them y'all.
That's what was her name?
Thelma Price.
Thelma Price, not related to Keith Price.
No,
No.
not
Thank
at all.
God. Thank God. Okay. So no, we did actually see that shirt. Now I had said that they should wear Yo Mama shirts or whatever the lady said last time when Tiffany started about don't talk about my mama. They should have got shirts that says I'll talk about anybody's mama, something along that line. So pass that along to them. Okay. So I want to know so much, but the first thing I want to know is that last fight altercation with the tall black man. I don't know his name and what was going on behind the counter because I realized that behind the counter, I shall call it, was Keith Price, Heavy D's bigger, younger brother. And I see that it was Mr. DOTTS. And then
Right.
someone said that in the peach was Kamal. Is that all accurate?
Yes.
Mhm.
Was there
And
anyone
then,
else back?
and then
The man-
DeMarcus Quigley, who is a supervisor, I believe,
He's a supervisor of public works.
and an ex-con.
He was caught on video stealing campaign signs off of people's lawns.
Goodbye, sir.
He is also he is also the man who threatened me at one of the last
A
meetings
month ago.
we went to.
Oh, I think that's what you told me in the comment, Paul. Okay, so he's got dreads, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And he was behind the counter. He's an ex-convict as well.
Mhm.
So you said he's supervisor of the waterworks or something, right?
It works.
Is that something that happens in that office where they were behind the counter for?
No.
They weren't supposed to be behind the counter.
They
Well,
were
that's
sitting where Willie Moore's people normally work, where you get housing permits.
Oh, is that what that's for? Because I was thinking, I'm like, if you don't work there, how the hell are you allowed to be back there?
That's
If you're
correct.
going to,
They
Tiffany,
back to work early when everyone else is waiting.
I was going to say, so they had to be there early.
Right.
They had to get inside. They had to find themselves a seat. So what happened with the man, the black man? I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I know his face. He's very tall. And he was about to fight or something with the dread-headed guy.
Right. Well, there was nothing going to happen to Mr. Dan Lee. He's not afraid of anybody.
Dan Lee.
The community.
He's very well known and respected in the community. So, I think that DeMarcus Quigley is a
Mhm.
coward.
Mm-hmm.
The only way he can show his mighty power, I suppose, is to misbehave in front of people, to think that that's going to scare them. It doesn't. It just makes
But do you know what was said specifically or no to even start that whole thing?
Don't know what was said, but it's apparent that DeMarcus must have threatened Mr. Lee, just as he did with me, and Mr. Lee was not going to have it. So,
Okay.
But we don't know what was said.
Okay.
Looks
So-
like Dolton was trying to hold back Mr. Lee.
I saw all these people trying to hold that man back, and then the dude DeMarcus was about to come from behind the counter. I said, "Sir, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That's so inappropriate to me."
Well, that's what happened when you have a gangster in power and an ex-convict who's going to go back to prison.
So you're referring to Tiffany, of course, but then DeMarcus, and then there was Lavelle Redmond, who I just did a video on him. Like, how are we circumventing background checks and just allowing this stuff to fly? I'm confused.
But that's the point. She doesn't do background checks on people who can do her dirty work for her. So there are lots of people, including her boyfriend, Kamal, who wants to take Doritos into the movies with them, sneak Doritos into the movies with them when they go. So, if you can get somebody to do what you need them to do, then you don't background check on anybody, right?
Is Kamal ex-convict too? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
We're not sure.
Okay, but he's allegedly still married, running around town with Big Tiff.
Yeah, I think his wife started divorce proceedings.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay. She's done with him. I don't blame her. Okay. She's trying to get out of that mess. Okay. So when people were chanting, let her speak, let her speak. How many times, let me take a step back. How many times do you think did Lacey say, I'm gonna clear the room?
Someone counted 7 times before Lori Lightfoot stood up there. And I was the first person to say, let her speak. And the very loud woman sitting behind me started repeating it. And the whole
Good.
time chanting it.
So about 7 times, Sean.
7 times. I'm like, if you don't shut up, you do this every single time. Like, if you're not going to clear the room, it's like telling a child that they can't do something, but you allow them to continue to do it. Besides the fact, I thought that you weren't allowed to unless they were doing something actually wrong, which is what I'm trying to read up on. Go ahead.
He was right. He's not allowed to, which is the reason why the residents are not afraid of him, because we do know our rights. You're not getting nobody out in here. And then, this is a deputy police chief who wasn't able to even pass his test to be in the position that he is in. So
he's not qualified to be.
Come on, pause, hold up, pause, pause. Okay. Now, Mrs. Paul, okay. So you saying that Lacey wasn't able to pass the fitness test or the intellectual test? Because the fitness test,
either one.
I can actually agree. Neither one. Girl, how?
Do you not see who's sitting in the mayor's seat?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Head oppressor in charge. We call the police the oppressor over here. So we can call. So Lacey is. I'm sorry. Say again.
Justice now means whatever you can get away with.
Right. So Kwame's name has been coming up. Kwame Raoul, I think is how you say his name. Is anyone thinking about, and you might not know because obviously it's not your town, are they thinking about bombarding him? I have seen a couple people said that they've called, but I'm like, this going here with Tiff. Can I just say this for a second? And going there and saying, you going to jail and you know what you're doing. That does not bother her at this point. That's not going to do anything to make any difference. If you think that it's going to make a difference for her, she don't care. That's why she's shuffling papers while they talking and writing stuff down and talking to people. That stuff is not working. Does anybody think about, going to Raul's office and going and knocking on his door and doing a campaign in front of his face to do something?
Someone brought up that idea in the Dolton politics group on Facebook this morning, but no one has stepped forward to organize the rally. But I think it's going to happen.
But we have reached out to him several times.
Many people have reached out to him.
And he simply is staying away from that.
Wow. So I did read that he told her that she was supposed to provide the documentation that WGN requested, and she didn't do it, and so that's why they're suing now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, and I also heard, and I don't know if you know, that she allegedly, or the town as a whole, and I guess the township at this point, didn't provide everything to the FBI like they were supposed to, and asked for an extension. Do you know if that's accurate or no?
Yes. The deadline of the extension was yesterday. I don't know if they turned in everything.
The deadline of the extension was yesterday, the day of the meeting. They don't have that.
On the 20th.
No, they don't have it, Ms. Sean. That's the reason why I believe when the residents are speaking and she's portraying that she's doing something, I believe it's all a nervous act, because she is afraid of what the residents have to say. And she knows that what has been said is actual facts that a lot of people that we know of are getting from the FBI.
So I've seen a few people say between interviews and between what I was reading in the politics site on Facebook is that she is appearing to be nervous. Now, I don't know her from the past. I only know her from this mess. So it sounds like you might agree with that. Is she different, nervous? what is it that you see that you think that she's like nervous and worried?
Well, I think the slurring of her words more and more when we see her. Um, the last few meetings that we have gone to, um, whereas she's been able to somewhat control the room, so to speak, she has not been able to do that because the power is no longer in her hands. It's actually in the residents' hands. We've called her up and so much that, and she knows that she's been called. She's been canceling a lot of things
The
that
people are now booing her regularly. That's, I think, why she canceled the township budget hearing last Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when she canceled the meeting that we were supposed to have had on the Thornton meeting
Tuesday.
on last Tuesday and set it for this past Friday at 1 p.m. She didn't expect all of those people that came out to show up.
Twice as many people showed up Friday than Tuesday.
That was even more.
Yeah, we watched that too. And for 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday with the unofficial start of summer, I would agree that was very disrespectful and went pretty long. And since you brought that up, I appreciate you reminding me. I'm not sure. I don't know if you know for sure what the hell was passed, and I guess I should say what was not passed from that township meeting, because even Chris had to put out a statement. I'm like, I don't trust you. That's the last person I trust. Do you know what was not approved? I guess would be the question, because I'm under the impression there were 2 items that weren't approved. Is that accurate?
3.
3.
There, the township has 3 funds. And the general fund was tabled. The general assistance fund was tabled. Even though the meeting was on the deadline, the last day that the trustees could present the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Road and Bridge Fund is by far the smallest, and that one passed, but there was a lot of contention there too. But in addition, at the general meeting, they had a couple of other questions. One was a purchase agreement with a company that does nothing but make custom food trucks and food trailers, and that was defeated. Then there was a plan to outsource the HAP, Henyard Assistance Program, which was originally supposed to put the youth in contact with senior citizens. And young people would mow the senior citizens' lawns. Well, that was outsourced completely to a new company. We don't know if it was open for bids. We don't really know much about this company. So, but that was passed. And I think those were all the votes.
Can I be honest with you? All that sounds very general to me. It sounds too general. It's nothing that's specific. The general fund, the general assistance fund, and the Henyard Aid Fund. What the hell is that? Why isn't it like the lawn, the like specifically like be called maintenance, which includes everything in the municipality stuff, which is like the trash and the water, like who comes out to get your trash and who's responsible for the water, who cable, because when you live in a city, sometimes you can only get certain, providers or whatever. This sounds so damn confusing that you like I called that general assistance line one time. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I found out that you can't record. Both people have to know you're recording. So I couldn't call back and do a call. But it's like the general assistance. What the hell is that? Okay, well, I feel like I want a new pair of Jordans today. Can you help me out with that? That doesn't make sense to me. And these funds they don't make sense. That's just me. Maybe it's just me. Did Riley Rogers have that? Do you know?
No,
Maybe?
Riley Rogers had nothing to do with it. This is the township.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry.
17.
Zuccarelli. Then Zuccarelli. Did he have it then?
Yes. The lawn care program was his idea.
Oh, you know what? I think I've seen a adult meeting about that, and then and it was like all these people bidding to do lawn care. I'm like, this is all y'all got going on around here. Now listen, it's a small town, so let me calm down. Let me calm down. It's in the middle, y'all in the middle over there. Okay, I haven't been to the middle before, so maybe it's just a different way of living, but it sounds weird to me. No offense at all, but. So her getting the raise part. Let me ask specifically that. And I know, Paul, you said that it's not technically a raise for her, but for other people. Did that go through?
No, that was tabled.
And which one is that called?
That was part of the general fund.
Of course it is, because that's where raises should go.
That's her spending money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Okay, let me get back. Let me stop. Let me not rant. I'm sorry. So that got tabled. So now when does that get taken care of if Friday was the deadline?
We don't know.
Oh, and she's not putting out any information about it.
No, she was worried about last night's meeting instead.
Too many meetings for her. Well, you wanted to be in charge, Big Tiff. Be in charge. So, oh my God, that question just left my head. I'm sorry. So Kamal was there at that meeting, at the township meeting.
Yes.
Jedediah was there at that meeting, but not the one last night. So Jedediah got in the face of the preacher, I'll call him, the one that turned off the mic, Baldy, can't think of his name. William, what was that about? Do you know?
No, he really didn't get in his face. He was just speaking, quite frankly, very cordial.
He sat down right next to him in the front row.
Jedediah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't threatening William Moore. He was just trying to have a conversation with him. But of course, Tiffany tried to make it seem so big by calling the officers on everybody or anybody she didn't care for. And Jedediah is just a thorn in her side. So, of course, that was made like out to be a big thing when it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was about. See,
So
William Moore was sitting there videotaping and taking pictures of everybody that is against Tiffany.
He had reserved the entire front row for Thornton Township staff. Each chair had a little white sheet of paper that said administration. And he was upset when Jedediah sat on a piece of paper that said administration.
This sounds so childish.
Yeah.
So remember at that meeting as well, where she tried to put out the lady with cancer, who I should know her name by now because she always here, she always speaking. And I can admit, and I don't know if the chat can agree, that from the time that we started watching this up until now, the township, the people, the residents, they are a lot more forceful. They are a lot more direct. They are a lot more, I'm not putting up with your bullshit now, than they were maybe back then. Where did that come from? Do you know? Like now it's like, we're not going to take it. Shout out to Twisted Sister. How do you know where that came from everyone? How, why, when, where, and all that?
All of the lines. I mean, you get tired at some point. You give a person a chance, but if a person continues to do you wrong, you're not gonna allow them to keep hitting you, so to speak, and get away with this. So the thing with Monster, Vivian is her name.
Okay, Vivian.
She's a cancer survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and so Tiffany cares. Supposed to be Tiffany Cares Cancer
Right.
Foundation. Here's this woman that's standing here telling you, I have cancer. You promised to take care of all of the people that live in this village who has cancer, that you would give them wigs, you would help them with this thing here or that over there, and she's done nothing of that. Nothing. And this is what Vivian gets up and speaks out against Tiffany for, because we all know, the whole world knows, that Tiffany used that cancer foundation as a ruse to steal money from the people.
Allegedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 10,000 and any and everything else that came into, now it's defunct and out of order or something like that. The Tiffany Cares thing, finally.
That's not her foundation, though. That was something the trustees came up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to speak.
Yeah.
Except we have it on video, the fact that she said that created it. So, which brings me to her.
Thornton Township, and we have it on video, and she spoke to some politicians in Chicago.
Oh, she said it in oh, yes, we did when she tried to cry. She tried to force herself to cry. Mm-hmm.
Difficulty reading.
Oh my God, last night. Like, girl, I thought you had a college bachelor's degree. I think my 4-year-old granddaughter reads better than you. Maybe that's her tell also, because I'm telling you, last night I couldn't take it. I feel like she gives the same speech every single time. I'm doing the trees, I'm doing the potholes, I'm doing the this and the seniors, and we doing the good thing. But so she said last night, which is on my thumbnail, that basically we owe her money. And she specifically was talking to she said like the ABCs, Chicago's, and all those people, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that she's talking about YouTubers as well.
But she's talking about you all too, because you all are journalism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lawyer on YouTube, in case y'all didn't know. So if you need me for anything YouTube, holla at me. But
She didn't say you're a journalist. She said you're a journalism.
Yes, I'm a journalism. That's true. That's big. I can't keep up with big Tiff talk. But we owe her a check because of everything that we getting from her, when we know damn well you want people to talk about you. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I went to her page. No, I went to Brandon, whatever his last name is, her stylist page. And he's right there with it. I said to everybody, I said, y'all, she late because she back there getting her sugar on the iced tea together with her outfit to make her grand entrance. I said, she always makes sure she looking to the 10 on Dolton side, but then she just come in a t-shirt on the Township side. So not always.
No, she dresses up for Township talks.
Oh, okay. Does she actually answer questions at Township talks is my question.
Right, Ms. Shine, you got to understand the difference between the Township talks and the Thornton Township meetings. The Township talks is where all the senior citizens come to. And it'd be like, I would say about 10 to 15 people there, as opposed to at the Thornton meeting. So she uses the Township talk to bribe senior citizens. We know this as a fact because my next door neighbor came to one and she offered her a job.
I think maybe her location had something to do about the job offer.
Because she's next door to you?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is crazy. Oh, well, what the hell would she be doing? Like, why would she want to work?
She really don't want to work. She just wants to be able to get up. She's 82.
Wow.
Want to, be able to have something to do throughout the day.
Right.
That would be a good idea. But she told Tiffany, I don't want to be on your payroll. I just want to have something to do. And I think mostly it's because of the bingo games that Tiffany has.
Bingo is really a hit over there in Illinois, your side of town, isn't it?
Thornton Township, anyway.
I wouldn't know, Miss Shawn. I don't go.
I mean, it's amazing to me that it seems like, because I've seen some of her videos with all the women that are there, it's usually elderly people. She definitely is going after them, but she's always talking about the youth. So I'm confused as to when you go with the youth, if you always hanging out with senior citizens. And one of my channel subscribers had said it's because those are the ones that vote. And you know what? That's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come out
3 times. And I would guess that the average voter age is about 60.
So was that the 1,000 people, 1,182 people that came and voted for her, and everyone else stayed home?
Pretty much. Well, no one voted for her as township supervisor.
Yes, that's why I blame Chris. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here in Lansing, the year that Tiffany was elected mayor of Dolton, voter turnout was 8.8%.
That's a sin.
It is.
That is a sin.
It's so easy for her to buy an election. If 90% of people stay home, you only have to buy a few votes.
I was going to say, so it didn't take much in order for her to do that, to be perfectly honest with you, especially if she's promising everyone things, allegedly. So
TVs and refrigerators are a cheap way to get reelected.
I said that. I'm like, y'all are happy over a refrigerator, something that you should be getting for your damn self, and giving out baskets full of Dollar Tree items. That's all it takes for you to live like this? I'm not trying to be rude. Can I just ask you a question, child? Because I'm looking around Dolton from yesterday with the views that I was getting. That town looked like a ghost town. That town looked like a place where Jason the Killer goes to kill people. Pause. Shout out to YouTube. I'm only being facetious here, okay? Like, it looks deader than a doornail. And then I think I saw somebody in the Facebook saying how everything is kind of ran out and ran down and everything is gone. Would you say that that is accurate or no? Because I think the mayor's job is to bring business to the daggone town and not drive business and close it all down.
I wouldn't. To be honest with you, I can't speak on that because we don't live in Dolton.
Okay.
And the only time we go over there is for the meetings and to stand with the people of Dolton because we share the same person that's in power.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they appreciate you for sure.
Or Ford Heights or Harvey.
I'm sorry, say again?
It's not as bad as Gary, Indiana, or Ford Heights or Harvey, Illinois.
Oh, are those bad places?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I tell you, I don't come to the middle, but I trust you. I believe you. If that's what you say it is, and that's what it is. So as far as back to the meeting last night, and when she sits up here and starts with the video play, what does the crowd think about that? Instead of her addressing, it's called the mayor time or something like that.
Mayor's report.
The mayor's report with video, and then she talks over top of the video. Are they getting anything?
No one was listening last night. People were getting up, going to the bathroom, turning their back, talking.
Oh, they were turning their back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No one was
Yay!
listening.
I love it. Yes, that's what they need to do. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry we didn't have that on video. If anybody has that on video, please send it because I'll talk about it. What about when she was saying, like in one of her PowerPoints, I think it was a PowerPoint actually, and she was saying, y'all, it's the trustees that raise your taxes and the trustees that do this to you, and it's trustees. And then she shows all this paperwork and highlights Jason, Kiana, and the other one, right? But I'm like, Holmes's name is on there too. Why are you not highlighting him? Right. Your name is on there too. Why are you not highlighting your own name? Like, girl, what? I'm like, is anyone did they see? I know you said they're taking bathroom breaks, but did they see that part? Like when she's there just blaming them?
Yeah, she did the same slideshow last month. And everyone noticed that she was using numbers from 2017, 2018.
Yes.
This past year, she and Keith Freeman wanted to increase taxes by 4.99%. The majority of the board voted it down. So the exact trustees she was blaming for tax increases were the reason why taxes did not go up in Dolton this year.
Oh, she's not going to point that out, of course.
And she did the same thing at the Thornton Township meeting. She was blaming the mayors of all of the municipalities for raising taxes 4.99%. Lansing did not have a tax increase, and one of our aldermen was there.
So who's your mayor then? Who's your mayor?
Her name is Patty Idem. I don't believe that she's running for re-election. She maintains meetings very well. She's quite popular.
Is
She gives public commenters 5 minutes. At board
oh
meetings.
wow. Do you think I'm sorry, Mrs. Paul, I volunteered your husband to run for mayor. I apologize. But since you're all both here, Paul, come on. What you gonna do? You gotta do something. You're too smart not to. What you gonna do? Exclusive. What's Paul gonna do in Lansing this
I think
2025?
I'm thinking of running for trustee's seat for Thornton Township.
Yay! Yay! I want Chris Gonzalez to unask that seat and give it up to Mr. Paul Roberts. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I have to see if I'm too offensive to the career politicians.
Oh, stop it. No.
I'll do it.
No, I think that's perfect. Get in there. They need you number wise for real. You're awesome with the numbers, clearly. And you taking the time to read through a 62-page document, Michonne would never, ever. So unless it's my paycheck. But other than that, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So they need somebody. What do you think about Robert Hunt? Do you trust him?
No.
Okay.
If he worked for an honest boss, I think he would be good. I think he's competent.
The question she asked, honey.
Do I trust him now? No.
That's what she asked.
Okay. I saw an old video because I've been doing my research. Shout out to Big Tiff, where she was on the trustee at the end and he was right next to her. He used to be a trustee as well? Or you're not sure?
In Dolton.
Okay. Yeah. So these trustee things are just like anybody, no shade. Anybody can get it and get in there and just be there. Right. It looks like Ed Steve, I think his name was out there. He used to be one. And it's all these people. It's like, oh, I'm an ex-trustee. Where's Dwayne Muhammad? Do you know Dwayne Muhammad? You heard that name?
No.
Okay, I'll leave that alone. That's an upcoming video. I'll leave that alone. Go ahead.
Robert Hunt in it though. I like Robert for the simple fact I think that he would be a good person if he wasn't working for Tiffany. He's good at his job, but I think at this point he's so far in that he's afraid to get out of it without, I think he's going to reap some, repercussions behind all of this mess with Tiffany anyway. But I think that if it wasn't for her, he will be very good at his job and be honest. And that's what we need. We need more honest people.
Dolton doesn't have anyone as competent as Robert Hunt in their finance department. That's for sure.
He's young, isn't he?
Did we lose you?
You're breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay.
I don't know his exact
I think we have a delay.
I guess
We about to be doing the Kendra G, y'all. So I'm a go ahead and just ask the question, and I'll wait for you to answer the question. What was everyone's thought, including yours, about Andrew Holmes finally showing up?
Like, why aren't you in hell yet?
he looked horrible.
You shouldn't be there. I mean, you need to be twerking in prison right now where you belong. That was my thought. And that's where, that was the thought of so many others, not trying to be offensive in any way, but if you did something and all of these allegations are going around nationally, internationally on you, why would you even show your face in public? Why would you show yourself at a board meeting with all of these residents that want you to go, and you need to go to jail?
Did he need the money?
I was going to say, do you think that she brought him in to try to get the vote flipped, even though she knew it was going to be 4? So he wouldn't have made a difference anyway. But that's what people were saying. What do you think?
Absolutely. We feel the same way. So many people feel the same way. But I mean, he needs to use common sense. To be honest with you, Michonne, he's just a year younger than I am.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Yes, he's a year younger than I am.
That's a rough life. That's a rough life, Ann. That's a rough life because did he say anything that you know of? Because I barely heard him when his name was called to say anything.
He would say no,
No,
or
and
yes
that's it.
very softly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I got. I'm like, did he say anything? Because I certainly didn't hear it. So obviously he wasn't taking questions. Obviously. So he just snuck in from the back. He just came in from the back because we saw when Kiana, is it Kiana? I think it was Kiana and a couple other trustees came to the front. And then we go in and then it's like, oh, Ant is here. He got to be here to try to get 2 votes or something. But it's like, that's still a waste of time. But maybe, and I don't know, and maybe you know, it was his meeting where he needed to be here or else he was going to be rolled off. Do they get rolled off if they don't show up as a trustee? Because he's been gone for a while.
I think you need 5 consecutive unexcused absences. I know that's the case in Thornton Township. I'm not sure about Dolton trustees.
That probably makes sense then. I would put it at about going on 5 or 6. So I agree. So back to Thornton Township for a second and let me know when you need to go. Back over there with the lady who dissented from Big Tiff. Can't think of her name. She usually votes with her. Carlisle. What happened there? Because they're saying that she was trying to influence her to change her vote.
We don't know. She didn't say anything. We heard Tiffany having a private discussion with her in public, right in front of the lawyer.
Right.
But we saw her. We didn't hear her.
So that's not typical of her to go against, right?
Because Tiffany appointed her to that trustee's seat.
I'm gonna have to look.
Also holds a position in Dolton, and right after the Thornton Township meeting, the rumor was going around that Tiffany fired her from the Dolton position. We haven't heard anything about it.
Of course. And what about the dude? I think his name is Jones. I feel like he was trying to pull away as well with his speech that he was giving.
I was impressed. He's normally silent or absent.
Right.
I've been to more Thornton Township board meetings this year than he has.
That's bad.
But one that I missed was when Tiffany was on the Roland Martin show. They still had a quorum, and they had a whole bunch of $10,000 invoices from Cornerstone Government Affairs. Chris Gonzalez asked, "What are these for?" I mean, $60,000 is a lot of money. He asked Trustee Jones, who was presiding over that meeting. He said, "I don't know, but Robert Hunt will be able to tell you, even though he's not here." So Carlisle and the other trustee, Gray Everett, voted to pay all of those invoices. And we still don't know what it buys the citizens of Thornton Township.
Wow.
Political consulting.
It's probably for Brandon, the stylist.
No, Brandon doesn't charge that much.
I don't know. Brandon is traveling.
I think it's to keep Tiffany in good graces with high-level politicians in Springfield.
OMG, allegedly. OMG. Oh, this is exclusive, y'all. They giving up the tea over here. 10,000. I'm going to have to find that meeting now. I'm going to have to go watch it. I'm assuming it was recorded. I'm going to have to go see if I can find it because we were watching.
Recorded.
It wasn't recorded?
The only coverage.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, we were watching the Roland Martin interview. I think that was before we were so engulfed with all these meetings and everything too. But this has really transitioned from what I've seen from when we started to where we are now. And I
Definitely.
can't even imagine what you know what I want to know. Do you know, have you heard anything, I guess I should say, with regard to, let me take a step back. Initially, people were coming through and saying, I talked to the FBI is here, the FBI. Then we got the subpoenas that said, you know, you got to turn over this information. Has anybody heard any clue as to the movement, the next steps, anything, or is it like dead silence at this point?
They're very good about not telling you what progress they're making in an investigation.
So I guess they're done talking to people, because the people were talking about the fact that I was talking to the FBI. I talked to the FBI, you know? So no one's saying anything at this point?
I think the investigation continues.
Okay. Like taking their information and deciphering it and figuring it out. And Paul, I know you must know what a RICO is. What do you think that this could be that?
Yeah, this is exactly the type of situation that RICO laws were made to address. I've been telling people that a criminal organization has taken over the local governments in Dolton and Thornton Township.
So that might take some time too, if that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot. Oh my God. Good information though. I appreciate you. I know you all have things that you need to do. Anything else that you want to tell us, whatever you want. I want to thank you so much for your time, but I'm going to give you the last word, whatever you want to say.
Well, we live in interesting times. It's almost as if 100 years ago, we were able to get free admission to public meetings with Al Capone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tiffany's given Al Capone a run for his money.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I would not disagree with you. Mrs. Paul, anything?
Just want to say thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
It's just been wonderful being able to share our views of what's going on with you and your viewers. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. No, thank you both. Anytime you can reach out, and Paul is always in the comments, and I appreciate that, especially if you're watching this foolishness over here that I produce, child, because it's a mess. I know. We just try to laugh as much as possible over here. Not necessarily laugh at your pain with this Tiff situation, but we really laugh at her, to be perfectly honest with you, to be so delusional. So we definitely support you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time. Whenever you want, anytime, you can come in the chat and say, I want to come up, and that's it. That's all. All right. So thank you again for all the exclusive, the tea, all the foolishness. Everybody, please say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Paul. That's what we call them over here. We appreciate the exclusivity. We're going to get into the other foolishness and let you all enjoy your evening. Try to get some normalcy, get some rest. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Delgado, unasked that seat. Unasked that seat. Unasked that seat.
To express my deepest gratitude to Tiffany Henier and her team for their commendable efforts to better our community.
Listen, come here. Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks. What your dumb ass say it.